sun has rise in the sky. The monsters' bodies are everywhere. All of them are dragons. A man that killed all the dragons with his sword was sitting on the dragon's head. System message has come. He has cleared the ancient dragon's nest. He was not happy because he has turned almost 60 years old. His name was Shin Sang-yun, and he was turned 55 years old this year. He jumped to the ground. It's been 30 years since he started living as swordsman. But his best achievement is just he was in the country's top 100 list. He saw his reward. The reward for clearing the dungeon is a skill book. He was going to eat this artifact, but a blue light has appeared behind him. A Constellation Bloomer model student has entered. I think this constellation was from India. He was talking in Sanskrit. He greets Shin and bless him. Shin thankful toward the constellation. He was thankful to him for contracting with him when he was a mere third-rate swordman. But there was a problem with his constellation's blessing, because his first blessing condition was him to reach level 850. With this, his artifacts and titles stat will be going to double. The second blessing, active when he reached level 900, then his stats will be tripled. But all with the hard work he has done until with his life, his current level is 650. Because of this insane conditions, he has to benefit from having him as his constellation. His constellation tell him to eat the skill book. Finally, he's going to eat the skill book. He remember when he first awakened, the first skill he get was Artifact-Devouring. In order to understand this skill, he tried to boil and eat artifacts. Even this method did not work. Then he tried frying them and eat, but he didn't feel anything different. But the moment he find the right method, 30 years has passed. The method was mana synchronization, but the skill only active for those artifacts that are suitable for him. He used the skill on the book he has gets after from clearing the dungeon, but this book was also not suitable for him. He throw the skill book because it's not working. There was no instructions for the skill book. His constellation was surprised. He says that there is very limited information about that skill available and apologize for not being able to help. He says that since there is a lot of time, however, he should compromise once more and start the mana synchronization. He started crying after hearing this because he don't have any more time as he was almost 60 years old. Dino, his constellation, apologize him again. He tell him he has not done anything wrong. It's just that his life is full of regrets. He couldn't forget the person who saved him from monster. He was trying to become like him. But now he's exhausted and too old if he was a little younger. His constellation smile after hearing this. But because Shen was not looking at him so he don't notice, his constellation has started to use some skill or authority. Shin Sang-yun look at him and don't understand what's happening. The scene he was seeing was his last memories as 55-year-old. His constellation used his power to experiment and send him back in time when he was young. Shin Sang-yun has regress. A man was explaining about dungeon and gates. He was a reporter. He was asking question to a woman who was in front of him. Shin Sang-yun was seeing this all in his house with TV. It'd been 4 days since he has regressed to past. To be precise, he gone back by 30 years. When he was wake up, he was in his apartment. He was 25-year-old with all the memories of his past life. He was confused. He swing his dragger and check his details. It's bronze level. The dragger name was Venomoths. It may be low level, but he know it's hidden skill. He started to absorb the dragger with his skill. The absorption rate is only 10% because it was low-level equipment. But what important is his hidden skill? To absorb the artifacts, he enter an isolated space, the gap of unconscious. The gap of unconscious is the space he has to bypass in order to eat the artifacts. He was always nervous every time he come to this place. A dish was in front of him. It was roasted BBQ chicken drizzled with olive oil. He was glad it was a normal dish. In his past life, he even have to eat dish made with centipedes. He eats the first bite, the dragger absorption has begun. He has acquired permanent 2 agility stat points and hidden skill, Demon Bash. The dragger has started to disappear. As he gets the stat and skill, it will disappear forever. After he gets all the things he wants, he gets back to his house and sit on sofa. He obtain a useful skill as he planned. He is going to test the skill. He has decided to get on dungeon to check the skill. We all see a massive gate. In front of a gate, the players and Porter has gathered. A man approached the team leader. The man was Porter team leader. The leader asked him what happened. He say one of his member has pulled out. He was talking about Shin Sang-yun. The leader say Shin has joined the player team. He gets surprised as he has joined player team, not Porter. It's only been 4 days since Shin Sang-yun has awakened, but leader has given him the permission to join. The Porter tell him he hasn't finished the player academy yet. Adding a guy like him to his team has never happened before. The leader approach him and tell him to don't get worried about the contribution and distribution system. The Porter leaves from there. The one-up player asks him, why did he accept Shin Sang-yun into team? The leader tell him if he die, then those Porter will shut up their mouth and value the players more. Shin approached the leader and greet him. He is going to work as player starting from today. The Porter has looking at him with cold eyes, and the players look at him with smile. He was expecting this, but they are not even hiding their expression. The leader welcomes Shin in their team, as he was expecting that Shin will be late to his first gate. He looked at his weapon. It was a longsword. Shin say he saw a video online about longsword and study about this weapon. The leader tell him the longsword was the hardest weapon in sword, and it will be hard to swing it. He say he can protect his own life at last. The leader has started the raid. All the player and Porter enter the gate one by one. The leader looked at Shin and thought it was ridiculous to study about dungeon in YouTube. He was so arrogant just because he has become a player. Well, according to the raid strategy that he has procured, this is Orc Dungeon that was hard for newbies. He thought he will know his place after entering the dungeon. As they enter the dungeon, the leader was surprised. He was not expecting all of this. He thought Shin was going to die there. Shin was in the front line and kill all the orc monster before the team can take any action. They all gets confused. Who the hell is this guy and what did they have witness? Shin was standing alone with holding his sword in his hand. He was surrounded with all the orc monsters, crops. With this, the first episode has ended. See you all in next episode. Thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe to my channel.